Ladies and gentlemen, it is June 6, 2013, and I would like to be the first to welcome you to the KNKL Daily, number 62. Today is Thoughtful Thursday, and I'm your host, Kienan Lafferty. We're going to be talking about some amazing things that go into the mental game of art and life in general, right? We're going to be meditating as a group. We sit in our circle, sip tea, and maybe smoke a peace pipe. But before we get into that, I want to take a lot of time, or take a little bit of time, or it might be a lot of time, who knows, because I'm actually feeling very, very grateful and thankful today. Might want to call it Thankful Thursday, because I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been watching the show, supporting it, reading the comic, and just being overall interested in the things that I am doing. And with that, let's segue right into this month's donator. Today's show is brought to you by Less Than Pie. He is so beautiful with his sparkly gold name. And yesterday, if you tuned in, you saw me putting together this month's thank you picture to everyone that has been helping out. So if you'd like to get your name on this picture, simply visit the Emma Comic Online website and donate as little or as much as you want. I'll feature your name throughout the month. That, and I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been ordering their limited edition printed posters signed by me on the front and back, and you get like the cool little sticker and all that stuff. Thank you to everyone who has been buying these, and if you haven't gotten one yet, consider doing so, because there's only 90 of these that are ever going to be printed, and they're going to be worth millions one day, maybe, if I actually ever get the next part of the comic out, which is what we're talking about today. Because I have not been completely satisfied with my work habits over these past few weeks. And I really kind of been trying to sit down and ask myself, because this is going to happen a lot. I'm going to go ahead and bust out one of my stress balls here. Because this happens a lot. I'm sure this happens to a lot of us, or maybe it doesn't happen to any of you. Maybe I'm just really weird, but in any case, I'll just let you know what's been going on with me. And yeah, see if you can kind of relate. But I've been noticing over these last couple weeks, ever since part 2 of issue 2 got released, I was really, really happy with that, and I had like this bright vision, right? I had this bright vision of where this was going and what it could become, and I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm getting help over here, and these people want to help me out, and we're getting a forum, and this person wants to help me redesign the website, and I just started getting all of these like inward like people wanting to join me. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna get big, this is gonna get huge, and like I'm so excited about what's going on. And then something happened along the way where I sort of like started feeling all this pressure because of all this stuff sort of coming in, right? And this is a natural thing to have happen. I would like to think so. And but I don't like it. I don't like the feeling of being afraid of like getting this pressure of like because people want to be a part of it. It's like, oh man, people actually care about what I'm doing, and but the other side of that is like, oh man, people are watching me, and there's nothing that makes artists more nervous than when they're drawing, especially me. It's so hard for me to have people watch me and I actually do stuff and draw, right, as I'm doing it, which is interesting. I mean, because even after doing all the tutorials, of me showing how I do stuff, it's not, I don't know, I think the biggest thing that's been happening lately is I've been getting really in my head about a lot of stuff, and it really shouldn't be that way. Really, really shouldn't be that way. I mean, here I said a couple, I think it was the last Thursday, I said draw like no one's watching. And I really, really liked that. I really, really enjoyed that. And there's just all of these things that go into the mental game of doing something that you believe in, right? Especially when, you gotta take a step into the uncertainty and you're fearful about what's gonna happen, and you don't know what's around the corner, right? But this is what life is about. This is what the adventure is, right? I'm gonna watch this in the future, and I'm gonna look back and remember exactly where I was right now. And the thing that I've noticed is that whether you go through these emotional ups or these emotional downs, right, they're always going to be present in your life. And I was talking about this last week. It's positivity and negativity. Just because you make $1 million and then you never have to worry about that anymore, and never have to worry about money again, that doesn't mean that, oh, now I can just relax and finally play video games all day, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that your life becomes free of worry, right? You have to work on that, and you have to constantly be working on that. You have to constantly be pushing out that negativity, right? Constantly be pushing away that negativity. Negative things are still going to happen to you, but you push them away by deciding how much effect they're going to have on your mental state and on your life. And so, yeah, I've been kind of dealing with that lately. But I think there's nothing that's more crippling to the progress of the comic than this fear that's been developing inside of me. And it's just this, it's so interesting because it's both negative things and it's positive things. I'm afraid of negative things happening, but I'm also afraid of, and it's really, really hard to like admit this to yourself, but like I'm afraid of it actually succeeding, right? I'm afraid of the comic actually getting momentum, getting noticed, getting big. I'm afraid of people liking what I'm doing because then I feel like I have a reputation to uphold, and I'm afraid that I'm going to let people down. You know what I mean? All these fears just like slowly creep their way into the back of my subconscious mind, and it's very, very interesting. A lot of times, I I feel like I'm learning new things every week, and I feel like I have new challenges every week, and I really, really do enjoy those. I really enjoy the challenges, and I love rising above them, and I love kind of rediscovering myself. You know what I mean? Because usually in the down times, that's when I find out more about myself than any other time. When it's going good, I'm just enjoying that, but it's really hard for me to expand myself, right? And when I'm in these down emotional times, when I'm like kind of at the in these it's almost like you want to relate it to like day and night, right? Emotional day and emotional night, right? Even though I'm feeling kind of a little bit down over these, even though I have been feeling this way over the past few weeks, it's been, you know, this is like the emotional nighttime, right? It's just like a cycle, right? And it's not gonna, I know I'm not gonna feel this way forever, and I'm kind of really wanting to get out of it. I'm really just trying to ask myself these tough questions of why am I afraid that this is actually, that people actually like what I'm doing? Why am I afraid that I think this could become great? Why am I afraid? And like this is stuff that I need to be writing down in my journal, because remember how I talked about those questions that I ask myself? It's like, what am I worrying about? What's the worst that could happen? And what can I do about it, right? And I really need to do that. In fact, I'm going to do that after this show. I'm going to write down exactly what I'm worrying about and just kind of go through that whole scenario. Like, what's the worst that could happen? What can I do about it, right? And then once you kind of, and this is what I really wanted to talk about today, and it's this fear, right? It's the fear of failure, it's the fear of success, it's the fear of the unseen. All of this stuff is absolutely crippling to anything, any type of project, anything that you want to do with your life, any self-improvement will get literally nipped in the bud. It will get crushed before it has a chance to grow or has any hope of growing, and it will literally like cripple and like it's almost like your Han Solo. Your self-improvement is now Han Solo, frozen in, was it carbonite? Carbonite. You become Han Solo, and you don't want to be that way. That's what fear does to you. It freezes you in carbonite, and that's really, really bad. So you want to stay away from that. And lately, that's basically what I've been feeling like. It's like I'm doing stuff on the comic. I've gotten, you know, all the pages laid out, but it's like reading this book, making comics, it's inspired me, but it's also kind of, and this is another thing I've been second guessing myself in a lot. It's like, well, is this comic really even good enough? Is it like, I've been reading stuff in here and it's like, oh man, I should have totally taken advantage of this chance that I had to do something that I read in here, right? And it's like, oh man, what if this comic just sucks? Because there's so many things in this book that are absolutely freaking genius that I want to capitalize on and that I want to be doing and that I wish I would have done in the past. Right? And I'm allowing this inferiority complex to already begin to overtake me and start the questioning of, oh man, is this even worth it? It's like, is this comic even good? But then the other thing is like, oh man, what if it actually is good? What if people actually really like it? Oh man, I got all these people that like, I got all these people watching me, and what if I suck? What if the new part that I put out, it's terrible? You know, and just all of these. And it sounds so stupid, like bringing this out, right? Like actually saying it. And this might actually be part of the healing process, and I'm really, really happy about this. But I really want to kind of delve into this, right? Because today is really all about talking about facing your fear, right? Facing your fear. I'm going to put this thing away. You guys are probably tired of seeing me squish this bowl. But it's all about facing your fear, right? Because I feel like 9 times out of, actually no, 99.9% of the time, your fear is not what actually happens, right? Even 100% of the time. It's always less scary than what you thought it was, right? When you actually turn and face it and be like, okay, look, this is the problem. This is what's happening. If I continue doing this, this is where I'm going to go. I need to accept that, right? I need to figure out, hey, if I keep going at this pace, what happens? What happens? I could even say it like this. I could be like, okay, well, let's say that I just take forever to release the next part of Emma. Or what happens if I never release another part again? What happens if all the people that watch the show and all the people that like the comic, they just go away, right? What happens then? Well, I guess everybody gets ticked off. I don't have a business anymore. I don't have any hopes of making a business. I don't know. Or maybe there's something else. Maybe people still like just watching the show. Maybe there's still value that people get out of that. And why do I want to slow down? Why am I not enjoying making the comic? No, not at all. I absolutely love making the comic. But I'm allowing myself to, and this is the other thing, is when you get distracted or when you get crippled by fear, your body naturally needs to do something, right? To kind of like pretend that it's busy, right? So you'll naturally start gravitating. You get distracted. This is what distractions are. When you're afraid to do something, your mind quickly looks for something else to distract it, looks for something on the outside to be like, yes, this is important to me. I must do this. And you know what it's been lately? It's been video games. It really has been. I've been playing a lot of DayZ, a heck of a lot of it. And A, because it really is fun. I really do get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And my little brother and I were playing it, and he recently just went off to like a meditation retreat. I know, it's kind of cool. We're like doing spiritual meditation today, and he's off actually doing it out in the real world. I'm actually kind of jealous of that. But we were playing in DayZ, and we were having so much fun. Like, we were on the server where you can like build bases. For those of you who haven't played DayZ, it's a zombie apocalypse like simulator game where you're like, it's like 50 people to a server, and it's like a giant map. You just run around, you have to like scavenge stuff, and you have to watch out for other people because basically if another player sees you, they'll try to kill you and jack your stuff. But on this server, it's really cool because there's a lot more like vehicles, and you can get these parts and build bases and stuff. And you know what? Like, naturally, I allowed myself to, because of my fear of this comic, I allowed myself to say, ooh, this is what I need to focus on. This is that outside thing that I can get sort of like addicted to, you know what I mean? And I started spending all of my time into that. So much to the point, and again, we're getting personal here, so much to the point that it literally consumed me like an addiction, and it still is kind of in a way. It's weird. I feel like I'm kind of finally coming out of it because I'm saying to myself, no, like this type of behavior cannot continue. It's okay for me to play games every once in a while, but the way it's literally been consuming me to the point where I'm staying up all night playing it until like 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm trying to like build this base, and I justify it by saying, oh man, when Quentin gets back, he's gone for 10 days. When he gets back, he'll be like, oh man, Keenan, this base is so cool. I can't believe you did all this. Wow, you're like the best brother ever, right? And I keep telling myself, it's like, this is why I keep justifying me staying up till 6 in the morning, not even sleeping, playing this game, right? Instead of staying up till 6 in the morning making the comic. And I ask myself, it's like, why can't I be doing that? Why can't I be as excited to get up and work on the comic at 5 o'clock in the morning the same way that the same way that I'm addicted to waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to play this game as I am to work on the comic, right? Or I don't even know if I said that right. Let me try that one last time. Why can't I be as excited to work on the comic as I am to play this game, right? Because it just like every single thought of my mind, it was on this game, and it was so strange. I couldn't believe it. But hang on, I hope the chat is working, guys. Is the chat working? Or are you guys just being quiet and listening? I'm gonna check. Because this stupid chat has not been functioning the last few days. I have to like refresh it. I don't get why it does that. No, it's not. It's not updating. What the heck is going on? It's like I need to reopen the chat whenever that's really annoying. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But anyway, Hogan Warfare is saying he listened to The Alchemist. And he's saying he could relate to so many things in that book. Yes, for those of you who have not checked out The Alchemist, I would urge you to go read it because it's very inspirational. It's actually a very dangerous book for me too. In fact, I need to listen to it again because every time I listen to that book, it literally just makes me want to change my life. You know, it just brings me back to the essence of what my life is supposed to be. And that's another thing that I'm really trying to ask myself. It's like in a world where we're always striving for purpose for what we want, what is my purpose? What am I really supposed to do, right? And I know that if I just fulfill that need, then I'll die happy, right? I'll die a happy man, and that's what my life is supposed to be. And I've written down my goal in my journal, or what I believe my purpose of my life is, but I don't want to share that with you guys just yet. I think that there's a special time when I want to share that with you guys, and I'm not feeling my best right now, so I don't want to just throw that out there. I'd rather be in a good mood when I talk about that. But yeah. Yeah, it just really bugs me that I mean, well, it bugs me that A, I was spending a lot of time on that game, but B, it also fascinated me. I was like, man, like what is it that is making me work like this? What is making me play this game for literally like 8 to 10 hours a day? No joke. Like, I mean, some days. Other days, like this week, it's been kind of dying down a little bit, right? Because it's like, oh, I just want to do this thing. Oh, I just want to do this thing. I really wanted to build this base, right? So that way nobody could get inside of it. That way when my brother comes, we have all this equipment and vehicles and all this stuff. And I felt like I was doing that for a reason. And maybe that reason was to seek approval. You know what I mean? Like maybe I wanted him to tell me that I was an awesome brother. I don't know. Not that I don't feel like he loves me already, but and it's so weird because I do that for him, and yet I have my other little brother who wants to play video games with me, right? But I totally just like push him to the side. He even bought me a video game to play with him, right? Saints Row, I think it was. Um, yeah, and I've been playing that with him now. But yeah, it's just so funny how I like pushed him to the side, even though he was like making all the effort to like play games with me. And I'm like, no, I gotta make this for my other brother, for my middle brother rather, and then he'll come back and see this and be like, whoa, that's so awesome. And I don't know what the deal is, but it fascinates me so much how I can become almost like addicted to things and like easily distracted in these moments. And I think it's really at these moments where I'm super super afraid, right? I'm super scared of what's around the corner. I'm super like just what's the word, not I want to say not comfortable. um, oh man, I can't believe that word is totally gone right now. But anyway, you know what I mean. It's just in these sort of like down emotional times or fearful times, not sure what's going to happen, what's around the corner. Uncertainty, that was the word I was looking for. These uncertain times, it just seems like I'm so quick to look around for, oh, what's this thing that can distract me? Where can I justify getting away from this, right? Almost like self-sabotaging. That's what fear does to you. It almost like self-sabotages what you do. And this can happen on a great scale, as in, oh, hey, I want to make this dream, I want to make this company, I want to make this giant comic, or it can be something as simple as, oh, I want to start eating a little bit healthier. I want to start getting in shape. I want to start doing more charity work. I want to start doing, things for the family, right? It can be small things too. It's just the fear. Fear is so poisonous and crippling and freezes you in the carbonite, if you will, once again. And yeah, it's just, it's getting to the point where I'm so sick of being afraid that I'm just ready. Like I said this to myself today, and I think it really, really helped. I said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to make this part of the comic, and if it sucks, I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like, just get past that fear of it being bad or the fear of people not liking it. It's like, if it's going to suck, then it's going to suck, and then I'm just going to get better and better and better, right? And I'm like comparing it to all these new things that I've read in this comic, which has literally expanded my mind, or in this, making comics book. I'm comparing it to all the stuff that I've learned in here. And so naturally, I'm going to look back and be like, oh, man, well, I didn't think to do that there. And, oh, man, I'm not doing any of this stuff. So naturally, I'm going to say, hey, there's all these things to improve on. But, and I hope I'm really, really like getting to a good point here, because I feel like I'm kind of just flapping my gums. But I think the main thing that I really want you to take away from this is really just examine where fear is stopping you in your life, because we all deal with it. and it's always going to be a part of your life, right? But you have to really, really be careful of the effects that it can have on you. A, it will either stop you from ever even starting what you're thinking of, or B, even after you started it, just because you take that first step doesn't mean you're over it, right? First step is a big thing, right? I mean, I know that deep down inside me, if it came down to it, I would not quit the comic. I would not say, hey, sorry guys, I've been thinking about this, it's just, it's not going to work. And then I'd go back to working at, full time at some video game company. I just don't think that I could do that. I don't think that I would not be happy with that. It's just, that would be such a failure to quit what I've already started, that I don't think that it's possible. I really don't think it's possible. It's almost to the point where there's a great quote, I forget who said it, but a great man said this, and he said that nothing can resist a human will that will stake even its existence on fulfilling its goal, right? The human will, once it's set on something, once it's set on a goal and it wants it enough, even its existence cannot stop it, right? Even the fear of dying cannot stop it from trying to attain this goal. And I think that that's kind of what Emma has become. It's become this thing of, I have to see it through. It must be done. And I have the reasons and everything. And that's kind of another interesting thing. Even though I'm in this little bit of a rut where I'm going a little bit slower and kind of becoming self-conscious about stuff, I know that it's not going to last forever. And I'm looking at it as a real chance for improvement and a chance to face myself, right? Instead of just push it away and be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm just going to be over here and yeah, I'm not going to do it anymore. No, that can't be said. Like those words cannot come out of my mouth, seriously, right? It's honestly laughable for me to think of me quitting this comic, And it's not going to happen. It can't happen. There might have to be some things that I have to do to just take care of myself financially, like get work somewhere. But even now, I don't know what's happening with that, right? It's like, it seems like work. That's another thing that's been kind of worrying me, is that the work that I thought was going to be consistent coming in as a freelance artist is actually totally inconsistent, and you can't rely on it at all. So it's like, dang, it's like I'm like hanging on by the skin of my teeth some months, like paying bills, and it's just kind of like weird. But I mean, I really kind of have to look at that and be like, well, every single month up till now, I've gotten it handled, and I figured it out, And just by law of averages, how many months have I lived my life and always just made it work? The answer is all of them. So I would say that the law of averages, some people talk about the law of averages, and I would say the law of averages is actually in my favor. I might not know how it's going to work out, but it kind of does, Like a good example of this is, there's certain bills that come earlier in the month, and just when that due date comes up, some of you freaking awesome people send me in some amazing donations or buy some posters to give me just enough money to like pay for that and just like keep going, right? And I don't know exactly how that happens, but it just seems to happen by like faith, right? I just have faith that it could work, and then it just does. And it's so hard. It's almost like playing the trust game, right? Where you're just like this, you're like standing up and then you're falling back. You can't see who's behind you, but you have to trust that they're going to catch you. It's like having faith in what you can't see, and that there might be greater things working to your benefit. And that really, in the end, it's like, again, the fear is never as bad as you think it is. And I'm so fed up with it. I'm so fed up with being afraid of what's going to happen. I'm done with being afraid of my own comic, and like having having this inferiority complex like overtaking me about like I can't create my own comic. It sounds so bad, and just like, no, it's like, that's not who I am. It's like, I started this thing. It's my comic. It's in my style. I can take stuff out of this if I want, or I can make up my own rules, right? I don't have to do everything that's in this freaking book. I can make up my own rules because people like it already. And you know what? It doesn't even matter that people like it and that they're watching me, okay? Like, I love the fact that people are enjoying it, but that's not the reason why I've done this. And I say this over and over and over again. I'm not making this so that people will like it, right? I'm not making this so that way I can make a giant business and make $1 million. I'm making this so that way I can read it myself, right? It's my comic, and I just want to be able to open up the pages and read my comic, right? And if it's good enough for me, then that's all that matters. And if other people like it too, they believe in what I'm doing, and they maybe get inspired to make their own thing or pursue their own dream, that is just icing on the cake. That's just extra things that come with it. But that cannot be the main goal. That can't be the main motivating factor. Other people, outside influences, they can't be the reason why I keep going. They can be one of the reasons. Don't get me wrong. I love you guys, and there is definitely some of that. Some of the pressure, like it's good pressure that I feel from the outside. It's like, man, like I really would like to be able to do well on this so that way I can prove to people that you really can believe in yourself. You really can have a dream. And you don't even, like, maybe this is another good thing. Maybe it's good that you're seeing me at this time. That way you can understand that, oh man, when I'm pursuing my dream, when I just have this goal and I'm trying to make something, it's not going to be a perfect little happy, smooth sailing the whole way there. There's going to be some bumps in the road. You're going to crash into a freaking iceberg, and there's going to be a giant sea monster that's going to come out and try to eat you, freaking take you down to the depths, where you'll slowly choke and die on the salty seawater. That's probably freezing cold too, because there's an iceberg that you just missed. And, it's not all fun and games, right? It's not a freaking yellow brick road. There are dangerous times. There's times where you walk into the woods and it's just like cloudy and misty and it's dark and scary and you hear like werewolves in the distance. You don't know what the heck's going to happen. You think that something's going to come out and freaking kill you every single minute that you're walking through there. But eventually you make it out of there, right? You find a way to get out of the woods. You find a way to get out of the haunted forest. And then you come to the other side of it, right? You come to the meadows and the beautiful hills, and then you stay there for a little while. But you realize that further in the distance, that's where you really need to be. And then you continue and continue. And there's always going to be these ups and downs and ups and downs. There's going to be days and nights. And right now, this is a point where I am in the woods. I'm in the haunted forest, and it is a little scary. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to sit in here. I'm not going to sit in the forest and believe that that is all my life is meant to be, or that I should just give up and go back. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, it's too scary in here. I'm just going to go right back here where at least I know I'm safe, right? Just outside of the woods. I know my goal's over there. Maybe, if I have to go through here to get to it, maybe I don't want to do it. It's kind of scary in there, right? I'll just stay right out here next to this little lake, and I can't believe how far I'm going with this analogy. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you've got to cross through these dark places to get to where you want to go, right? And if you stay outside, if you refuse to go into it, if you refuse to face the fear, you're going to stay where at least you're kind of comfortable. At least you have the certainty that it's not the scary place that's in there, but it's not your goal and it's not your dream. And then eventually your dream just fades away. Right? And that's probably the worst thing that could ever happen to anybody, right? And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And it really, really bothers me. It really bothers me when people don't just take the chance, right? They don't take the chance. They don't allow themselves to go for it. They don't allow themselves to enter the darkness, right? The dark realm that comes with pursuing your dream. And the contrary, or on another side of it, is that a lot of people will say, oh man, when you're doing what you love, it doesn't feel like work at all, right? And no, that's not necessarily true. Some days it really does feel like work, and some days that's the last thing that you want to do. But it's not all the time. Actually, I'd say probably about 90% of the time, when you're doing what you love, it just feels good. It just feels right? It's not easy, but it feels right. And I think maybe I should rephrase it the other way, is when you're working on something that you love, it will always feel right? But it will not always be easy, right? In fact, it shouldn't be easy. It should always be challenging, right? But that's also a really, really good thing. Whew, man, I've just been freaking flapping my gums. But talking to you guys, I really hope that you understand like how much this means to me. That you guys are actually right there. You are sitting right there listening to me flap my gums about my problems and about the things that I've been experiencing emotionally as we go through this Thoughtful Thursday. Because it really is helping me out. It's almost like a verbal journal. It's like a video journal. Imagine I look at this like 50 years later, right, when I'm an old man, and I look back on this exact day, And I can only imagine like the sweet joy that I'm going to experience just looking at myself, being like, oh my gosh, I remember exactly where I was right here. This was the point when I was when I was in the forest, right? I was in the dark and scary haunted forest, making my way towards my goal. And, you know, just coming up with that analogy kind of helped set things straight for me. Um, it's almost like you can always frame things positively, right? And I think that me feeling this way, it really is me facing my fear. It's letting me know that I have crossed into the darkness. I am in the uncertainty, and it's a little bit scary right now, but this is where I have to go. This is where I have to go to get to my goal, right? I can't just sit on the outside and not enter it, right? And yeah, it it's very humbling. It really is humbling to think about that. And but I really am happy. I'm grateful for the challenges, and I'm grateful that I have family. I'm grateful that I have family that supports me. My mom and my dad and my stepmom, my brothers, and just these people that believe in me, and you know, they tell me that I'm proud of me for going for my dream. It really it means a lot. And I don't want to get too emotional because I'll freaking cry on the stream, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to cry on stream. Not right now. We're saving that for number 100. We gotta save that for number 100. That's when we really let stuff come out. Maybe. If we want to follow Day Night's footsteps, that's when he really came out about all that stuff. But for now. Plus, I don't want to be a big baby. I don't want to cry on the stream. That's just pathetic. But yeah, yeah, I think that's a really, really good thing to understand. And I hope that you guys, if you're ever in a feeling like this, if you ever are feeling like, oh man, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, or you just feel like, man, I freaking suck at art, or why am I even worrying about, why do I even care about this? There's so many people out there that are better than me. There's already people out there that have already done it, and they've done all this work, and how am I supposed to do all that, right? Or maybe these people just got lucky, right? They just knew somebody, right? And then they use all those, they look for all those little excuses. Those are the werewolves taking hold of them. Those are the snakes in the grass. That's the mist that somehow comes from the trees, clouding their view. And they suddenly start to lose track of their dream, and they say, nope, I'm not passing through here. I'm going back where I came from, and I'm going to sit in my nice little dirt pile where nothing's really great there, but at least I know what it's like, and I'm okay with that. And that's what my life is. And yeah, it's like don't let that happen to you. Instead, when you're feeling this way, when you're feeling the uncertainty, when you're feeling this being scared, right? You're in the adventurous part, right? This is the part that you need to contrast to when you get to the other side and you're like, this was totally worth it, right? Because if you just walk down the little yellow brick road the whole way there, nothing went wrong, you weren't scared of anything, there wasn't anything trying to kill you, and then you get to the end, you're like, oh wow, that was easy. And then you won't appreciate it, right? You're like, oh, whoa, this is so cool. Wow, yeah, everybody else can come through here just as easily, right? Because if it's that easy to get there, then probably everybody else has it too, right? And then this is kind of like a bad thing to say, but you know, if everybody else has it, then you're not special. You know what I mean? But that's also like a good thing. I mean, it's kind of bad to say it that way, but I mean, it's kind of like human nature to be like, you know, well, if everybody else has it, then what's the big deal? You know, like if everybody else has it, I'm not unique. I'm not different, right? And we almost derive value from what nobody has, right? What's unique and special. And that's natural, and I guess that's okay to be that way. But it's so interesting. I mean, there's so many people living around the world that are literally surrounded by so much more uncertainty and have like so much more. You know, we would argue that they have worse lives than us, right? They're stuck and they're hunting freaking boars in the jungle, and they don't have like running appliances. We don't have TV or video games, and we would look at them and say, oh, that sucks to be them. Their life is so much lower than ours, and we use that as like a way to kind of boost ourselves up and be like, oh man, I should be so happy for what I have, which is actually a good thing. You should definitely be happy for what you have, but I think that no matter where your life is, no matter what circumstances you were born into, there's always a way to improve it. There's always a way to be happy with what you have, and there's always a way to like pursue more. There's always a way to attract more, rather. There's always a way for you to improve yourself and attract more good things to you. And I hope that I kind of use that story right. I don't want you to think that I'm like looking down on everybody that is less fortunate than we are, right? In America, you know, where we have it really good, all those people out in Australia and Sweden, you know, you guys have it good too. You know, Japan has it really good. Freaking jealous of those people. I want to go visit. In Ireland, But yeah, just kind of backtracking because we got off on that tangent. I hope that any of you that are going through like a down point or like an emotional dark time or an emotional night, right? I hope that you understand that you're not alone and that everybody goes through them, me included. And that I hope that you can look at it in the light of, I need this. I really do need this to appreciate what I am going for, right? And that even the fact that I'm feeling like this right now, it is a good thing because it means that I'm crossing into the unknown. I'm crossing into the uncertainty. I'm facing my fear, and that I am on my way to getting out of this, right? I am making my way and furthering my point to my dream. The feelings that I'm feeling right now are nothing more than a sign of I'm getting closer, right? And that there's some things that I'm going to have to overcome. There's things that I'm going to have to stare in the face and say, I'm not afraid of you in order to get past and get through to where I'm trying to get going. And yeah, I really, really hope that you guys do that because I don't want to see you guys like be afraid and then go back, right? I don't want you guys to get scared and go back and be like, oh man, I thought everything was going to be perfect the whole way there, because that's not the case. There's always going to be ups and downs. So yeah, I hope that you guys are enjoying this today. I know it's a little bit more of like a negative. I mean, we're talking about negatives, right? You notice how like the last few weeks we've been talking about negativity is always going to be a part of your life. Today we're talking about fear. Today we're talking about uncertainty, right? And it's so funny how the Thoughtful Thursdays have transitioned from, oh hey, everything is good, everything's positive, everything, you know, we should all just feel good and pursue our dreams, into this like darkness and like, no, things are actually dangerous and you could die. You could die. And we're like transitioning back and forth between these things. But it's good. I hope that this shows you that there's always going to be this balance thing going on. The yin and yang of art and pursuing dreams and your mentality. So, all right. We've been going for about 40 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and open up question catapults. Please cast your questions over the castle walls. I'll send them back to you on a bed of rice. I'm going to quickly browse through these questions here, or just the comments, making sure you guys are getting everything. Yeah. So, Simon's saying I should rewatch the daily from the beginning because my expression changed from the start. Yeah, like I said, guys, you don't know how much it means to me to be able to come to you guys, even though I'm just talking to a webcam. You are on the other side of that webcam by the amazing miracle of technology, and you're actually listening to what I'm saying. And I don't know, but that just does something for me. You know, oftentimes they say, I mean, this is the magic of a journal too. Like, if you can't talk to somebody about it, write it in your journal, because as soon as you just get your problems out of your mind, right? As soon as you get your problems out of your mind, oftentimes the fear follows with it, and then it's captured onto this page, and then you can look at it objectively and be like, yes, this could happen, and I'm okay to face that because here's what's the worst that could happen. And am I still alive? Am I still doing my dream? Am I still working on what I love? Am I still enjoying life? The answer is yes. So it's like, hey, that wasn't that big of a deal anyway. All right, done with that. All right, let's just keep doing what we're doing. And yeah, I mean, I hope that this shows you the power of just talking about feelings, right? Talking about the things that you're afraid of with people or writing them in your journal will literally extinguish them. It puts them away. It shows them in the light, right? It shines the light into the dark and scary forest on the thing that you think is a werewolf, but it's really just in the shadows. When it shines on it, it's a cute little puppy dog, right? You go up and you pet it, and you're like, oh, you're really cute, right? And then he becomes your companion, and then he helps you, and then he eats the snakes in the grass and all that good stuff, right? So, yeah, talking about your problems, writing them down. I know it sounds like pansy crap stuff, but it really, really does. Talk with somebody that you trust and that you care about. Just talk about your problems. And if they're not receptive to it, which sometimes they won't be, sometimes they won't offer any good thing to you. Sometimes they'll just tell you to get over it, right? And, you know, it's like, Or they'll do the thing where it's like, you think you have problems? Well, you should listen to my problems, right? And then they start comparing, they start talking about all their problems, right? So that way they can feel like, oh, well, I'm a bigger person, I got all these problems. You should just consider yourself lucky. Those kinds of people, if you go up and you start talking about that stuff with them, do yourself a favor and just eliminate, just stop that conversation right there. And you should consider even talking to them about anything ever again, right? Because those people not really going to help you out. That's where the magic of the journal comes in, because all it is you and the book. Put it down, and then you can actively, objectively look at it. And I got to put a quick note over here to write down journal notes, write down what I'm worrying about and all that stuff. But it really does. I mean, you guys saw it yourself. Over this last hour, we've just been talking, and I really do feel like, I don't know, I just really feel already that I'm becoming happier. I feel already like the scariness of everything is kind of fading away. And I really, really appreciate your guys' support and all that good stuff. And I found my beanie today, so it was a good day. I lost my beanie over the past few days, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But as you can see today, I cleaned my room. The quality of your workspace is the quality of your mind, right? Clean workspace, clean mind. And we're good. All right. Dun, 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 dun. It's the worst. Oh, Simon. Absolutely brilliant statement here. He's saying it's the worst feeling when you feel afraid to pick up a pencil. This is literally the feeling I have been having over the last few weeks. I just look at this thing and it's just like sitting there on the desk and it's like, I can't like grab it, right? Can't pick it up and like start drawing. And it's so strange to me. It's such a weird feeling. But and then quickly I'll be like, I gotta do this thing in DayZ. I gotta go get this. I gotta get a helicopter and I gotta get a base. Oh yeah, let me just go work on that right now. Or I gotta check all these comments on DeviantArt. I gotta check all these things on the League of Legends board that I posted things to, and I just find things to distract myself really quickly so I don't have to pick up this freaking thing, right? Ugh. Bugs me. Simon, good man, Simon. You have the most vivid examples. Oh no, I'm dropping frames. Shoot! Thank you, Ozzy. Yes, I don't know when we started dropping frames, but I think it's about time we end today's daily. 62. Alright. Alrighty, peoples. So if there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end today. Thank you once again for joining me for another lovely, thoughtful Thursday. Hopefully the frames have picked back up. It looks like they have. Alright, that's good. Alrighty, people. So we're going to go ahead and go on our lovely weekend. We're going to have a great time. You guys out there, go pick up your pencils, pick up your styluses, face that fear, and pick up that cute little dog that you think is a werewolf, and it'll become your companion, and it will help you out. Alright, where the heck is epic outro music? Alright, dudes, I'm out. Peace out. I will talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Later.